It's Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. I was just going through some news articles a little while ago and a few things that drew my attention that I want to share with you. This one came out a little while ago. Massive ransomware attack may impact thousands of victims. Here we go again. And when I read articles like this, I ask myself, how safe is our money? How safe are the banks? How safe is the entire system? Cyber attack against US IT provider forces Swedish chain to close 800 stores. This stuff is beginning to happen daily now. Ransomware hits hundreds of US companies today. Revil, this is the Russian gang that was responsible for the meatpacking company JBS back on May 30th. They're said to possibly be responsible for what has happened today. The Swedish Coop grocery store chain closed all its 800 stores on Saturday after a ransomware attack on its American IT provider left it unable to operate its cash registers. Think about that. They can't even do business because they were attacked electronically with another ransomware attack. So this grocery chain cannot even open its cash registers. They can't even function. They can't do business. They cannot take money from its customers. And again, this is another reminder of how vulnerable the system is. So even if you had money to go to the store today, if you were in Sweden going to a Coop's grocery store, you couldn't even use your money. Now, how long will they be down? I don't know. Could be a day, could be 2 days, could be a week. But what if these things continue to persist and get worse? And what if the banking system got hit? What if our grocery store chains got hit and they couldn't open? They could not open those registers, couldn't accept money, and they were down for 3 days, 5 days, a week. What are you going to do? If you don't have food and water stored and put away, you run the risk of not eating. You run the risk of not taking care of your family. So, again, when I read about these cyber attacks, it's another reminder of just how vulnerable and fragile the system really is, that really just the click of a button, things can shut off and we would be in very, very big trouble. 1,000 businesses have been impacted and that number is expected to grow. There are victims now in 17 countries. Again, I just wonder how safe the banking system is. We're seeing now that the food industry is not safe, and just think how easy it would be just to shut down the food industry and create supply chain shortages and breaking supply chains in all types of sectors, including food, which is extremely important. Banking, extremely important. I continue to stop at a bank to use an ATM. Doesn't work. I have to go to another bank. Sometimes that one doesn't work. And I just ask myself, wow, why are the ATMs not working? Why is this bank closed today? What would we all do if we started seeing major cyber attacks on not just one industry, but multiple industries? It would affect every one of us immensely. And this is why I make these videos, to just wake everybody up, to continue to remind all of you, to reinforce with all of you that we must stay on track. And there's a lot of people out there that feel they are alone, that they're the only ones that believe that something like this could happen. And it's reality. It's happening literally daily now. Daily. Ransomware, cyber attacks. God forbid a grid goes down. Then we've got really, really big trouble. All this is happening. All this is possible. And all this can affect you and I. And I want to let all of you know, watching today, right now, that you are not alone. There are millions of people who think just like you, who know that the system is very fragile, who know that the banking system is very fragile, and they're preparing. And you're preparing. and you're not alone. There are so many like-minded people and more people daily waking up. People that watch this channel, read those comments down below, and please continue to comment down below. So many people, you've woken up so many people reading those comments down below, and people realize they're not alone, that there are a lot of people just like you and I out there who are awake, aware, and preparing, and know that this is just the beginning. We're in the second inning of this collapse. We could see cyber attacks and ransomware and grids going down during this collapse. It's very, very possible. We need right now to be getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Anything right now in 2021 is possible. These people who tell you none of this could happen, it's not possible, these were the same people who never thought that an economy could be shut down for over a year, that the entire globe could be shut down for the entire year, that we would see institutional money bidding hundreds of thousands of dollars over listing price for a house, that people would be making more money to stay at home than to work. I mean, these are the people who thought none of this could ever happen. Think about what is happening right now. You are watching the craziest times in our history take place right before our very eyes, and yet there are people out there that continue to deny what is happening. They have ears, they cannot hear. They have eyes, they cannot see. You see what's happening, you hear what's happening. This is why you continue to prepare. Bloomberg, Amazon uses artificial intelligence to terminate delivery drivers. I bring this article up, this is very interesting, because people are going eventually to be forced back to work. And you're going to see technology, you're going to see robots, you're going to see AI replace a lot of jobs. A Bloomberg report deals how artificial intelligence systems employed by Amazon have hired and fired contract drivers. Called Flex, this system. Amazon uses AI to determine how many drivers are needed for deliveries. The app is installed on drivers' smartphones, measures whether they delivered packages on time, followed the customer's request. If a driver misses the mark, they are subject to an automatic firing. Algos track every move of these drivers. Many drivers have been wrongfully terminated. You can appeal your termination through arbitration, but it will cost you $200. It says here, Amazon knows delegating human resource work to machines is cheaper and more efficient. Look, they're going to cut out as much fat as possible, ladies and gentlemen, and as people are going to be forced back to work by the end of summer, when all of these benefits and all this unemployment runs out, they're going to be forced back to work, and we're going to have this rush of people looking for jobs. And we see McDonald's going automated, other restaurants going automated. They're not going to need waiters and waitresses. They're not going to need people counting the money behind the counter. Many drivers said that the algos don't factor in real-world problems for failing to deliver a package on time, such as traffic, locked buildings, vehicle trouble, etc. Don't worry, automated delivery vans and warehouses are coming. So those jobs will also be replaced. They're not going to need drivers. They're not going to need people in the warehouses. So what will millions of Americans do with this competition of technology and AI and robots? And how about the millions of people who are coming to America who are looking for jobs also? You're going to be competing against all of this. It's going to get very, very difficult to make money. It's going to get difficult to find a job. Here's another one on the hedge today. Understaffed restaurants resort to serverless ordering. Technology is going to replace millions of jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another one on the hedge. 9 million workers return to the labor force in September. What happens to wages then? By early September, we expect roughly 3.5 million workers to lose their $300 weekly top-up. over 5 million workers to lose their PEUC extended duration benefits entirely, and nearly 6 million to lose their PUA program benefits. So a lot of people are going to be forced back into the job market, and that job market is mainly going to be in the service sector. And people are going to be competing against people from all over the world for jobs. They're going to be competing against AI. And my question to all of you is, will wages continue to go up or will they come down? Right now, employers are paying more because they need, they're forced to pay more because they need workers to come back. They need people on the floor. They need people in industry right now. So they're willing to pay a little bit more. What happens when there's a flood of workers coming back into the workforce? Do we see wages come down a bit? And what does all this mean for inflation? Right now, labor costs are going up as we're watching fuel costs going up, watching commodities going up. So we're watching the price of everything, from the grocery store to the restaurant, to the bars, to the gas station, to services. Everything is going up. And I just do not know how the average American is going to keep up with this, especially when we have an economy where, roughly 80% of this population here in the United States of America is working paycheck to paycheck, if they're even getting a paycheck right now. Many are getting a paycheck from the government. Many have already rolled off, and many will be forced back into the service sector economy. We now have an economy, a service sector economy, based on consumption. 70% of this economy is dependent on consumers consuming, many of which are consuming with money they don't have. This is a dead-end road, ladies and gentlemen. And as I leave you this evening, so much happening. You do not know what you're going to wake up to tomorrow, what you're going to wake up to Monday morning, Tuesday morning, next week, next month. This whole thing has so many moving parts. It's changing so quickly. But heaven forbid we wake up to a massive cyber attack or a grid that goes down. So many Americans unprepared because they just cannot face the truth. People now just cannot face the truth. They just want to live in La La Land. They just want to post pictures on social media. They just want to validate their lives on Facebook that they're somebody because they own a pair of $400 Nikes, or they're taking a vacation somewhere, racking up more debt, but taking pictures to impress you and I of their lavish vacation, their lavish steak dinners. I don't know about you, it doesn't impress me. When I go out to places like Los Angeles, when I go out to areas out here in Riverside County and I see people struggling, and I read daily the numbers of how many people are struggling paycheck to paycheck, how many people are homeless, how many people are about to lose their house, how many people are about ready to be evicted out of their apartment or condo. And many people try to pay the bills. Not everybody just stopped paying the bills and went out and partied and bought a new car. There are people who did the best that they could, and because of no fault of their own, lost a job that's never going to return, and now they're behind the 8 ball, and they're barely, keeping their heads above water. It's going to get harder to keep your head above water in this economy. It's going to get harder and harder to make a living wage with this inflation that is not going away. It is not transitory, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be here for quite a while. So you need to be preparing. So make sure that you're polishing your skill set. If you can go work an extra job, you got that extra side hustle, do it. Put that cash away. You're going to need an emergency fund because we are heading to a very serious emergency.